It's a pleasure to be working with her. Please put your hands together for Valerie Brown. Valerie, come on up, please. Valerie Brown.
Hi, I'm Valerie Brown, as he said. Thank you for having me here. Boy, it's bright in here. I wanted to tell you, thank you for having me here, and thanks Boomers for having me here. And my friends have been telling me for years that I'm funny. But you know, they usually don't say that until after they've opened their third bottle of wine. So I'm thinking maybe it's wine related, or I drink too much wine or something. But they do have more drinks in the bar if you want some. But I have to regulate my drinking now and then, because even though I'm doing stand-up, or at least trying to, I'm still a working flight attendant. Yes, I'm old, but I'm still doing it. And a lot of people have to get their courage from drinking. And the airlines have learned that it takes 10 of those little minis to get a mouthful. And sometimes on my layovers, in some of my cities, if I have a long layover, I try and find a comedy club where I can practice my stand-up, like Chicago or Milwaukee. But I'll tell you, I'm having a problem with my body. The time zone changes are killing me. My body's on LA time, I'm in Chicago. It's time to sleep, and I haven't even eaten yet. So I can fix my watch, but what do I do about my stomach? I don't know. I'm starving and tired all of the time. And even an experienced, not aging, I've decided I'm not aging sex goddess, I'm an experienced sex goddess. Still gets hit on all the time by men on the plane. You wouldn't believe all the offers I get just for a couple of extra bags of peanuts. One man even paid me $50 for peanuts, and I took it. Until I learned later on that he wasn't asking for peanuts. And you know, it takes more than $50 for me to warm anybody's nuts. I'm sorry. And it's amazing what rough air and turbulence and alcohol will do to a man at 30,000 feet. Yeah. He's not looking for someone slim, gorgeous, and 25. He's looking for his mommy. He wants me. Yes. Rough air and turbulence, I am like last call in the bar. Anything that's safe and convenient. Yes. And you know, things have changed so much in the airline industry. We used to be called stewardesses, right? Now imagine this, 20, 30 years ago. All right, it's been a long time. We used to wear those really tight skirts and those really high heels. Well, not many of us look like that anymore in the airlines. It's kind of like putting the toothpaste back in the tube. It's probably not going to happen. And then what are we going to do about the men? Are we going to give them floral shirts, magenta, pink, lavender? Well, maybe some of the gay men. And we do have a lot of gay men that work for us. And they're, you know, you always know them. They're needy, they're tidy, they're punctual, and they are always sucking up to the pilots. Captain, can I get you something from the galley? Sir, would you like some more whipped cream on that pie? You know, I even heard one male flight attendant ask the pilots if he could carry his bags. But then I found out they weren't her flight bags they were offering to carry. I don't know. And do you really miss those dry, chewy pieces of chicken that we used to serve with a spoonful of mashed potatoes in those section trays, kind of like prison food? And the brownie, we called it the filling because it just about fit into the molar of your crown molar of your tooth. Yeah, things have changed a lot. And security regulations. You can't bring sack lunches, you can't bring creams and lotions, you can't bring your nail clippers. And for men, you know, those little 3-ounce bottles, that's, you know, that's only a trip to Burbank. That's just a single stroke and they're done. They need more than a 3-ounce bottle. And TSA regulations have changed so much. It used to be you could go through security with everything on. Now you have to put everything on the conveyor belt. You have to take off your shoes, take off your jackets. Women, if you have too much jewelry, you have to take off your jewelry. And don't let that be the day that you walk through with holy socks. Because you know sure as shitting, you're going to go through there and you're going to beep and they're going to parade you and your holy socks all over the place and frisk you and everything else. Yes, everything's changed. Well, I will say though, for the flight crews, it's much better. We have our own separate line to go through. And the other day, I went through the flight crew line, and there was just one guy standing there from TSA, and I thought, well, that's a little strange, because usually they work in pairs. But he had a uniform on, he had an ID, so I went up to him, and he checked my ID, and then he whips out this metal detector wand, and says he has to wand my underwire and my bra. And I thought, oh my God, what a pervert, please. So I came up real quick, and I said, oh no, that's not underwire bra, that's not underwire in my bra, that's just flabby skin. And he waved me right through. Dropped the bullet with that one. And everything in my home has become travel sized. So if you come stay with me, it's $5 for blanket, $3 for earplugs, $1 for toothpaste. But if I have playing cards, they're free. And you know, everything's available in my home for a price. So now I have my list. Okay, everybody wants to know about the 10 things that flight attendants hate when they're flying. So I have a list, and don't be a hater, because it's our list. But we do have our list. First one is, we love your kids. We hate your kids. We really do. We are not babysitters. We do not have play areas. No. Please, NetJet, that's the airline for you. They have nannies and they have play areas. But no, we love your kids. We love your money. But we don't want to babysit your kids. The second one, every time you ring the flight attendant call button, we hate that button. We cringe. We look to see whose turn it is. But you know, we're happy to get you a drink because that's what we're paid for. So we're happy to get that. But please, please, don't ask me to fetch something for you. And please don't try and give me a Kleenex in my open hand, which many people try and do. And the flight attendant call button, that is not a toy for your child. It really isn't. Okay, then we have stewardess. Well, our new name now is flight attendant, so please use that. And what about the drinks? You know, we make at least 3 announcements about there's a drink card in your seat back pocket for you to look at ahead of time. So I go up to the first guy, and he said, what do you have to drink? And I said, we have Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. He goes, really? Is that all you have? I said, that's all we have. Because we've already told you 3 times it's in seat back pocket. So I get his drink. I go to his best friend next to him. What do you have to drink? Are you kidding me? Next. And then I go to the next guy, and he's got headphones on. Do you really think I'm going to scream at you to get your order? Next. Oh, now we come to the best one, the whisperer. Okay, you'll have an apple juice. No, you'll have an apple juice, right? I'm hearing apple juice. There you go. I serve a lot of apple juice to the whisperers. Yeah. Can I help you lift your bag? Excuse me. Can you help me put my bag in the overhead bin? No. In other words, what you're saying is you've packed 100 pounds of worldly goods into the bag, and you can no longer lift it, and you want me to lift it up there. No, I can help you check it to your next destination. Thank you. I miss the hot flight attendants. Oh, baby, this is it. Get over it. The drinks are too expensive. You betcha. Airlines makes millions every year in selling alcoholic drinks. I'd be a millionaire if they gave me a commission for every drink that I sold. What else is there? There is, all right, I'm very happy that the FAA has changed the cell phone procedures. We no longer have to go to the gate, back to the gate, because one person could not turn off his or her cell phone. Terrorism jokes are not funny. It makes everybody nervous. It only takes one joke and you're not going to Burbank tonight. And finally, please, please don't change your babies on the tray tables. Happens every flight, almost every day. People eat off those tables. We may not serve food, but people bring food in. And finally, the rules of the airlines are changing every day. The world's changing every day, right? Everything's changing. So the next time you fly, be flexible, bring a credit card, leave the kids at home, and leave a cash tip for your flight attendant. Thank you. Have a good flight.